Hello, Leo and Leo Rising. Welcome to your July 2016 reading. I hope that you had a great solstice and that this month is off to a fantastic start for you. And I can't wait to sort of see what's coming through in the cards and also into the oracle cards for you. When I was meditating on Leo this month, one word came to me, and it was very strange. This isn't a word that I use in everyday conversation. If it's a legal thing or if I'm talking about politics, perhaps. But the word retract came through. Retract is interesting because it means that you need to sort of perhaps go back and review or withdraw something that you've said or agreed to. So some of you may have promised too much, perhaps in the past month or even last year or deep in the past. We'll have to look at the cards and see what's coming through. But in regards to that retraction, just be honest. That's the best case. Think of the Wall Street Journal or New York Times or a major newspaper. Usually they just put something on the front page that simply says, we said this is the fact, sorry, and we're going to move on. So for some of you, it may involve just saying, I'm sorry, I should have rethought that, or I should have thought that through a little bit better. If you just diffuse it, it's going to basically eliminate a longer sort of struggle, and you're not going to lose much face if you do that. Okay, you'll save face basically. So that's my advice. If you need to address something, address it quickly, swiftly, honestly, and sincerely, and then move on. All right, let's look at the cards now. One more shuffle. Sometimes people complain I don't shuffle it enough for them. They don't realize I actually shuffle before the reading as well. All right, so let's take a look here. The Magician, a great card to start this month off with, showing that manifestation is really key. It's also a card that indicates if you focus on any given sort of like dream or aspiration, a lot can happen, but you have to focus. All right. Now let's look at your Catalyst card, which is going to tie together that initial bit of channeled information about having to be honest about something in your past, and then what I'm seeing here at the center, which is manifestation. Oh, you know what? Two cards popped out of the deck, so we're going to look at both of them. So interesting. They are very complementary. One is about stillness, one is about grounding. So rather than moving forward and doing anything hasty, basically take a moment to do your research, to feel like everything is stable, and then just remain still. Allow things to come to you this month. It's a little bit more of a passive month, okay? Now let's take a look at the cards. And your central card again is the Magician. This one is showing me that perhaps from your current vantage point, for those of you that might have been thinking about moving, leaving, trying to find a new job, it's saying, before you do that, try to use your ace card, whatever it is, and do something unique. There's like a final stand. You can do more from whatever vantage point you're at right now. Page of Cups shows me that your biggest opportunity to either, this is again more for sort of like work projects or challenges in your life, but your biggest opportunity there is to maximize your relationships. It looks like this month, a lot of people are going to think very favorably of you. If you're looking for love, great month with whenever the Page of Cups comes. Because I'm getting a passive energy with the tree and the lake card, the grounding and the stillness, I actually feel like for many of you, if you're just open to love, it could find its way to you. Could be in a water sign like a Cancer or a Scorpio. When I'm looking at the deep past for you, we have this Hierophant card, which is showing me reverse, by the way. It's showing me a need to move away from established ideas, institutions, possibly feeling a little bit penned in by the conservative views of other people that might be in your community. Not feeling right now that faith is maybe where you want to put a lot of your energy. Ironically, sometimes when you're feeling that, meditation can help because there's a lot of other stresses, and what you need to sort of do is peel apart what the external stresses are and what the actual challenges in your life are. So it doesn't necessarily mean prayer, but quiet time and contemplation could be very valuable for you this month. Let's look at the other cards here. What I see is a really immediate influence leading up to this month, like June in particular, was sort of like paying down bills, stability when it comes to money, feeling like you might need to save more. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world now regarding like our financial markets and everything. And as we know, that's a volatile thing, and it will come and go, and it will change from time to time. What you need to focus on is not losing track of the great work you did. 7 is usually a great card when it comes to Pentacles. It means that you're aware of the challenges that you have. You're starting to acknowledge and take action. You may not notice overnight changes, but know that this is the right step in the right direction. For those of you that have already sort of conquered some of your financial challenges, what it means is now just continue to save, because everything comes with patience, not like an immediate lotto ticket. Just patience, persistence, and a changing of habits. That's really key. Your crowning card is the 4 of Wands. This is a great card for those of you that are thinking of getting married, perhaps, or starting a new business engagement. It's also just a fun time to hang out with family and friends. Whenever the 4 of Wands comes through, it's usually showing a very favorable ability to be like the center of attention here, and in group gatherings. So for those of you that might have your own business and wanted to do like a workshop, or have considered going to like a conference, this is a really good month because you could meet key contacts that are going to be important in the long run. For those of you in a long-term relationship, the 4 of Wands shows stability and general harmony. And for those of you that are single, it shows that you could either date if you'd like, or just have fun with your friends. Again, I get a strong friend-family vibe coming through with that card. And again, for those of you that are single, don't force it. The 3 of Cups in reverse shows that there's a lot of opportunity out there to find the right person. Timing is really key. Remember, I said at the beginning with the Page of Cups that it's showing a little bit more passiveness when it comes to relationships. So have fun and allow some things to come to you, but be open to it as well. Now, this is also a card of excess. As you notice, it's always got 3 people, usually 3 women, but in this case it's a group of people, usually drinking, usually having a great time. I love the 3 of Cups, but when it's reversed, it's sort of indicating you might want to pull back a little bit on eating too many sweets, drinking too much alcohol, drinking too much wine, or sugar, or anything like that. A little bit of anything isn't going to kill you. Too much of anything probably will. So just dial it back a few notches, okay? Have fun, but be responsible. We have the 2 of Wands as well. This whole deck is pretty interesting. It's Arcus Arcanum if you're interested. I'll post a link. It's out of print. It's something from the 80s. But what I noticed with this deck is that there's a lot of people. This is a very social deck, which is suggesting a lot of interactions are going to happen this month. It's not a month where you're going to probably be a hermit. You're going to be much more engaged with people, even if you're not looking for it. That's what this card is saying. 2 of Wands, showing that forecasting is really important for you this month. Like I said, a lot of changes, a lot of uncertainty happening in the world right now. You're probably going to be tapped on by other people to sort of like, oh, what do you think of this, etc. Remember that retract card that I channeled earlier, and I want to make sure that you don't say something that you could regret. Think of the long-term ramifications of your actions and your speech. It's going to be important. This is a common theme between you, and I think Cancer had a similar message in the same spot. Yay! Leo, coming through here showing environmentally, your health should be pretty good this month. If you're going through any difficulties, this shows a higher likeliness that you can push through them. And with appropriate sort of medical supervision, or a change in your regimen, that you can really affect positive change in your life, which is good. Now when we look at the 10 of Cups here in reverse in your hopes and fears, some of you might be freaking out a little bit. You might have external pressures to, if we look really close at this, it usually has 2 people. This one is showing the meet. But for those of you that aren't yet in a partnership, a lot of times you will receive pressure from friends, relatives, or family saying, when are you going to meet someone? When are you going to get married? When are you going to adopt a child or have a child, etc.? don't rush. This card just means, again, there's a passiveness. Timing is really key. And for those of you in a relationship, this means that you may need to put a little bit more energy into the family, the extended relatives, the extended family, so mother, father-in-law, niece, nephew, etc. This is going to be a month where there's more demands on you. And the interesting thing is, some people are going to be really, really happy to see you. You may not always have the same feeling, but do what you can to be a good Samaritan here and assist. I feel like it's you reap what you sow, and some positive long-term things could come out of this. When you need help and when you need assistance, they could be there for you. Your outcome card for this month is the Knight of Discs, which is actually quite nice, showing me that after the Seven of Discs, the Seven of Pentacles, that you're actually going to have something around the last week of the month coming through that is going to either provide some relief or could open up a whole new opportunity for you. So work hard. It looks like whatever energy you put into work endeavors this month could pay off. When we're looking at love for you this month, it could also indicate a really strong earth sign towards the last week of the month, a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. Some of you may meet a Libra, not a Libra, but a Leo around the middle of the month, also looking very positive for you. And that's about it as far as potential mates. Let's take a look at the extended forecast at health, wealth, love, and destiny. When we take a look at your health, I like to remind everyone that this includes spiritual health, mental wealth, and just overall feeling of well-being. So your advice when it comes to this is to take care of yourself, not to overdo it. Basically, if you're feeling like you're holding too much tension in your neck and your shoulders, get a massage. If you're burning the candle at both ends and not getting enough sleep, try to take care of yourself before you get the flu or mono or something like that. And if you're stressed out and you don't really know who to talk to, either find a counselor or a mentor, or find a way to sort of write it in a journal, but you need to get the stress out of your body. Self-care is really key. When we look at wealth, finance, opportunity coming through for you, your card information, oracle information for this is to not give in to your fears. And it looks like, again, for your wealth, around the 9th of the month, around the second week of the month, this could be where what you're fearing comes true. If it does, sort of work to not overreact. Otherwise, what I would say is the stronger you are in your positive thought process, the less likely you're going to get into trouble around that second week. So just try to think the best, assume the best, surround yourself by really positive people, and don't let yourself sort of go down that rabbit hole of thinking, oh my God, this could happen, this could happen. You know, sometimes we make a laundry list of all the ways in which we could fail or meet failure in our life. All right, let's look at love. Be supportive, and that really goes with what I saw earlier, where your family may be needing more of you. And this is more about family than love relationships. But for those of you that are in a very small family, or it is just you and your spouse, then go out of your way this month to be kind, loving, and more supportive than you normally would be. It's going to pay off, and you may save your spouse from sort of unneeded stress, etc. And really, what you reap, again, you sow what you reap on that. So make sure that you or reap what you sow. Sorry. You want to basically put in what you want to get out of that. So always be kind and giving. And I think I've said this before, but it's a wonderful way to think about it. You're never going to go bankrupt when it comes to unconditional love. There are so many different resources in your life: money, energy, trying to think what else, space. We have a lot of finite things in life, but I strongly believe that the universe operates with a universal currency of love, and it's one of the highest frequency thought processes, and something that you can sort of resonate within your body. So if someone in your life is needing love, it's so easy to give it to them, even if it's just a prayer. or a positive thought. They may drive you crazy, but just think, please help them. I don't know how to, but you can send love in a different way, okay? So somehow send some unconditional love, and it's going to come back at you like tenfold. Finally, your destiny card is really about avoiding something that you might need to face. And again, this goes back to the retraction. If there's something that you're in denial about, maybe someone is really wanting to say, I told you so, or you knew you made a bad mistake, just own up to it. Again, there's so many politicians out there that would be so much better off if they just said, you know what, I said this, I meant this instead, and it won't happen again. But we have people that hide behind lies, or they're afraid to tell the truth, and people are so much more forgiving and understanding of other human errors. It's actually sometimes an endearing trait rather than being a frustrating trait when someone is not coming clean, okay? So don't be in denial. It also says, I'll acknowledge my fear but replace it with the insight of awareness. So once you understand what it is that's scaring you or making you think, oh my God, I can't say this, I need to say this, it's going to be much easier for you to just sort of feel free. And you're not going to, you aren't going to have the sort of issues with people looking at you and knowing that you're not telling the truth, okay? Let's summarize everything. It was a lot to look at. I mentioned this a few times, but better to come out with the truth or to go back and look at a contract and correct it at the beginning of the month. Make it sweet, make it simple, make it short, and just be honest with it. Looking at all of your cards here, Magician is your central one, showing me that through these initial two cards, the Catalyst cards, by being grounded and being steady, you can do a lot in your present situation. Love is included in that. It looks like it's a great month to meet a lot of people, but I'm sort of recommending that you exercise some caution and not debauch too much. Basically, everything in moderation. Partnerships are great this month. You have the strength to work through any sort of health challenges that you might be facing. Family is going to need you more than anything this month. I see an economic turnaround for many of you, so just be steady, be strong, and don't beat yourself up over any losses in the past. The past is the past. Now you're going to just focus on what you can do. For those of you feeling disenchanted or sort of not quite into either tradition or religion, there are other ways in which you can find support this month. Feel free to seek them out. Health is all about taking care of yourself and acknowledging your limits. Wealth is about understanding that fear can actually lead to a reality of something happening. If something does happen and it's unavoidable, just face it. Fear only has power when you don't do something about it, when you don't face it. When we're looking at love, support is needed, particularly with extended family, or if it's a small family, your partner, your spouse. Finally, the whole purpose of the month is to basically, the word absolve comes through, but I think it's just to remove doubt, denial, fear, and to let go of that weight that might be on your shoulders if you just have to speak something and say it and get it off your chest, okay? That's everything. I hope this was helpful for you. If you ever want more of a one-on-one reading, I do offer those. There's a little bit of a wait since we're in the middle of summer here in North America. So just be understanding. I know I have a lot of clients from different parts of the world, so be patient. It's about a 4 to 6 week wait at the moment. Otherwise, great ways to stay in touch with me include subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. I have a newsletter, and that's the easiest way. I get so many questions, when are you going to post the next video? I promise, I basically post and send the newsletter at the same time. So that's the best way. You'll get it right in your inbox. You can click straight to your sign. I highly recommend it. I'll put a link here so you can subscribe. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Okay. Finally, I like to express gratitude for the love, the support, the comments, the suggestions that all of you give me each month. Keep up those likes, the subscribes, and those comments. It really means a lot, and it shows me that this is engaging and helping you. Finally, this is supported by people like you, so if you'd like to provide a donation, I put a link as well at the end of the video, but that's completely optional. Otherwise, take care of yourselves. Have a great summer for those of you that are in the northern hemispheres, and have a great month, irrespective of where you are. I'll see you soon. Take care of yourself. Satnam.